Lauren joins us from Los Angeles. It's so good to have you with us. Thank you for joining us. I got to tell you, your story and the arc of it is phenomenal. I recently interviewed Bethany Frankel, and the two of you in this small group of reality TV stars who are women who were able to propel this into something huge, something successful. And I'm curious, she talked about having fear about the what's next after reality. Were you worried about the what's next at all, Lauren?
I think I was so ready to be done that I wasn't as concerned with what was happening next. I was like, okay, I was so ready for it that I wasn't really nervous. I was also really young, so I think I was a bit naive.
Well, but even with youth comes fear, and you may not want to be where you are on the show, but it is, okay, what do I want to do next? What can I do next? And then you have, as you know, and I know this, the naysayers who are saying, oh, it's 15 minutes or up, it's over. How did you face that?
I think I always looked at reality television as sort of a way to further my career in fashion. I went to design school during filming. It was just a step to get me further to where I wanted to be.
And you went on to be where you are now. You have the Lauren Conrad Beauty brand, among other things that you're involved in. What was the guiding light that propelled you again to not just a brand that does okay, you have a brand that is phenomenal?
I took advice from a lot of people. I kind of have always paid attention to what others have done, but I've tried really hard not to really mock anybody else's career. There's definitely people I look up to and I say, I love what they've done. That's amazing. But I think the people that are most successful are the ones that kind of stick with what they know. They do things in their career that feel organic. They don't feel forced. And I don't know, I want to say I've always had a plan, but I have kind of just done what felt right in the moment. And that includes a lot of saying no to things.
Which is a big deal. I mean, listen,
Yeah.
I'm 50 and I struggle. My dear friend Al Roker was one of the people who lectured me about having the ability to say no, because you don't want people to see that as rejection. You did an interview recently and you said that you had to step away to figure out who you really were. And I imagine that gets you to who you really are, especially now as a mom. So who are you now?
I like so many others. I think I'm still figuring it out. I think I think especially when you become a mother, you're just always trying to be a better person and kind of work towards that. So I'm still figuring it out.
Well, yeah, and listen, we all are. You're 35 now. We talk a lot about motherhood on this show, and if it defines us. Do you struggle with that at all, being defined now as Lauren, who's 35, who's a mom, or obviously your alter ego, which is Lauren, the businesswoman who does that? Do you struggle with identity as it relates to motherhood?
I don't think so. I've been really lucky because, my brand is very much about a lifestyle, and the fact that I have children, I think actually helps me. I launched a kids line this year that I wouldn't have been able to really do successfully if I didn't have children. I dress myself. I think, my situation is kind of unique. So I think the fact that I'm a mom just is part of who I am. I don't feel defined by it. I feel proud of it. I think if anything, this year has shown us how strong mothers are.
Absolutely.
And so I think, it doesn't define me. It's a big part of who I am, but I think it's awesome.
It is awesome. I will tip the hat on that one when we come back. How Lauren's new passion project is helping empower women around the globe. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We're talking with former reality star turned fashion and beauty entrepreneur Lauren Conrad. International Women's Day is March 8th, a day to celebrate the social, economic, cultural, and political achievements of women and raise awareness, of course, for women's equality. This year's theme is Choose to Challenge, a call to action to create a more gender equal world. It's a challenge Lauren is taking on with the help of Hannah Skvarla, who joins us now. Together, they created The Little Market, a nonprofit with the goal of empowering underserved women artisans around the world by offering them a platform to sell their handcrafted goods. Since they launched in 2013, they've worked with more than 70 female artisan groups in over 28 countries. Hannah, welcome to the show. Congratulations on this. It's absolutely incredible. Tell me how you came up with The Little Market and Why do you think it's resonated in such a way?
Um, Lauren and I started the Little Market because we wanted to create a platform to support women in vulnerable and underserved communities globally. We had the opportunity to travel and meet incredible artisans and women that were being served by nonprofits. And so often women would share with us that they just wanted the opportunity to support themselves and their families. And you can see all the beautiful crafts in these videos. And women are making really beautiful things and preserving cultures and passing on techniques from generation to generation, but so often just lack a place to sell these handmade goods. And Lauren and I wanted to be able to provide that.
And Lauren, to Hannah's point, that's the beauty of it. I mean, yes, and we have some of the things here we'll talk about. The beauty is there, but the stories are what also, you know, they just touch our hearts and compel people to go on the marketplace and buy something.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the reasons why we've become sort of a gifting destination is because people love to give a gift with a story behind it. They love to find gifts that give back. And I think, again, this year, people are becoming more and more invested in the stories behind the items they have in their homes and the things they use in their everyday life.
Was there something that really, affirmed to you that you were going in the right direction? Was there a story or an artisan that just hit you and you said, okay, we're going to keep this going. I know this is the right thing to do?
Well, I think even, right there, you have our candles. Our candles are made here in the U.S. by women who are refugees who have resettled here from Congo and Burma. Since working with the Little Market, they have been able to grow their team. Some of the women who work there have now become U.S. citizens.
And Lauren, I know the last few years you've had the International Women's Day Luncheon. This year it's going to be virtual. It's called Conversations with Changemakers. Chelsea Handler, Jamila Jamil, among the many of celebrities participating, along with human rights activists. What is the goal of the conversation this year?
We've, over the past few years, had these really amazing events where women came together. We have speakers. We kind of have conversations about things because I think that's the best way to start learning about things that you care about. And I think a lot of times when you're talking about, different rights and things that are affecting women and people all over the world, it's a lot of these things are scary and intimidating. And I think the best way to kind of get introduced to them is just a very honest conversation. And that's what we've been having. We're lucky enough to actually sit while they're recorded, and we've been listening to them, and they are incredible. I mean, I literally laughed and cried during these, and I'm so excited for everybody to be able to listen to them. And it's all going to be free at littlemarket.com.
Oh, fantastic. Well, listen, we love stories. We love empowerment. We love fashion and beautiful things. So coming up, we're going to go to Cambodia to meet two of the women whose stories captured Lauren and Hannah's attention, and also see their incredible handcrafted jewelry when we come back.
Hola a todos, mi nombre es Diana Reyes Villanueva, soy de Lima, Perú. Soy la coordinadora del taller Esperanza, en los cuales tenemos 28 mujeres que trabajamos con mucha dedicación y empeño. Nosotros trabajamos los diferentes procesos que conlleva el dibujo. Esta forma de trabajo nos permite operar desde casa y así poder cuidar de nuestra salud, nuestros hijos y nuestra familia, porque así podemos ser mujeres independientes económicamente y poder crecer y desarrollarnos cada vez más.
Oh, thank you, Diana, so much for sending that to us from Peru. And we're back with Lauren Conrad and Hannah Skvarla, co-founders of The Little Market. That's a nonprofit dedicated to giving women like Diana, artisans, a platform to sell their goods. And joining us from Phnom Penh, Cambodia, Shrey Mao and Rachel Dotson, creators of Pen Lin, a jewelry line known for its creative and on-trend handcrafted pieces. Rachel, thank you so much for joining us as well. So in 2013, you left your job in fashion, you moved to Cambodia, you met your partner, and you've also have a beauty background. How did this all merge? Because that just sounds like a real whirlwind experience.
Yes, absolutely. So my background is working in fashion in New York. So I was working at a modeling agency. And during my time there, I kind of started to see a little bit of the unethical side of the fashion industry, specifically in terms of production. And so I started kind of asking questions about who's making our clothes, where our clothes are being made, and under what conditions the producers were making these clothes. And a lot of those answers kind of led me to Cambodia. There's a huge garment industry there. So once I kind of discovered a lot of this, I booked a trip, went to Cambodia to kind of see what the opportunities for women were like there. And when I got there, I met Sri Mao and we became fast friends. And we both shared a passion for empowering women, for creating job opportunities for women. And we thought, what a better way to empower women and create opportunities than to start a new business.
Absolutely. Shremel, the price range, $22 to $84. This is absolutely beautiful. Tell me about what you've created here. I have a few pieces, and everyone who knows me knows I love a good pair of hoops. So you have me at the hoops. Tell me about the bracelets.
The bracelet is made from glass bead.
Yeah, and everything you see there is handcrafted right here in our studio. So the artisans work together to handcraft everything. All of our pieces take between 30 minutes to several hours for them to make. So every time you buy a piece, you're buying something that's gonna last and you're investing in the future of our artisans.
Lauren, as I said, you started 2013. As word has spread, have you just been blown away by the countries that you've been able to reach and the women whose lives you've been able to impact from this? It blows my mind.
Yeah, it's been really exciting. I mean, we love getting updates from all the different groups we work with. In the beginning, when we kind of started Little Market, we really wanted to start something that could reach as many people as possible. We didn't want to pick one group here or one cause here. We wanted to just simply serve as a platform for so many people that were already creating beautiful things and maybe didn't have that platform. So that's one of the great things about Little Market is just each year we've been able to see growth and reach more people and make a bigger difference.
Right. Shremel and Rachel now employ 10 women artisans to create their pieces. So women employing and helping women. Thank you all for joining us. We greatly appreciate it. Congratulations.